Hi, I got some ceramics at a yard sale and I got this stand so I could do hands-free. Hi, thank you, Miss Lynn. So I wanted to show you a few things. Some people were asking me, what do you need when you're a beginner with ceramics? First thing is your brushes. Don't go expensive. Walmart, Dollar Tree, Friend that paints, they got old brushes they want to get rid of. Grab those. You can put water with a little bit of Dawn in it in a cup like this one that's tall so your brushes will stand up in it. Is a lot easier. And put a touch of Dawn or some kind of dish liquid in there to help you get the paint out from the bristles. And sometimes you gotta let it soak. That's okay. I prefer warm water. Use what you like. But that, you're gonna beat up your brushes when you're doing ceramics, so don't spend a lot, especially when you get started. Yes, they have paint brushes that are for ceramics, and I was gifted some of those, but I don't use them all the time. Those are my good brushes. Brushes break down really easy with ceramics because of the rough surface versus a canvas or glass. So don't put a lot of money there. Your paints. When you're buying your paints, this is not a sponsored video. You don't always have to go with these. Go to your local um, hardware store, paint store, Walmart. They will have cans that are a lot smaller, about that big, and they mix these cans for test colors. Someone, or if even this big or bigger, someone doesn't want the color after it's mixed up, they put the lid on these. They don't get rid of them. They sell them at a reduced price. Sometimes you can get a can this size or even bigger for $5. You may not know what color it is, but at the same time, you're not spending a ton and you got a lot of paint. So be creative how you get your paints. Indoor paint, outdoor paint, it really doesn't matter. You're going to seal it with, this is what I use. Again, not a sponsored video. I use the Rust-Oleum. It's 2 times Ultra Cover Clear matte. And, we'll use what you want. I prefer the spray, but I live alone. If you don't live alone and you don't got good ventilation, get the brush on kind so you're not breathing in that. I use a mask too, and usually spray that outside. Getting your ceramics. Go yard selling. I know some people love it, some people hate it. If you know somebody who loves the yard sailing, just tell them, hey, statues that are in good condition, even if they got glaze on them or paint on them, bring them to me. If you can't get the glaze off, for example, this little girl, I cannot get this glaze to come off. You can paint over that. It's going to take a lot of patience and a little bit more time, but you can paint over that. I was at a yard sale and I got a few things. Number one is this kitty cat sitting here. Now she came with, hold on, a basket, and it has a problem. See the handle? I have a friend who works with wicker. She can fix that. If you can't fix that, or you don't have someone who works with wicker, you can cut this off right here and unthread it. It will look perfectly fine. And she sits in her little basket. I got her for $1. You don't have to spend a lot for your ceramics either, especially if you're going to resell them. Get them cheap so that you can resell them at a cheap price and still give someone a good price and you love what you're doing. This was like 50 cents. Isn't that cute? It's got a handle or a hole in the top. Someone could use it for a Christmas ornament or something. I'm going to paint it and they can do what they want with it. Another thing I got, all these were under $1. The little picture frame. Again, the glaze is not going to come off. I'm just going to paint over that glaze. And if you have product stickers, take those off before you paint. I know, sounds like a yeah duh, but not everybody thinks of that. Like, I can't get the glaze off her, and she's got other paints. Of course, I'll cut this off, but she's going to get painted too. Sorry for the ums. I've got several angels, so I'm going to put them together. This little girl was only like a quarter. She's got no glaze, but she does have other colors on her, so I'm going to put a primer on this one before I paint it. I primer all of these let the primer dry overnight, then I go ahead and paint it. This little Mickey soap dish is going to get painted to look like Mickey Mouse. And you can put things together. I already had bought this at the Agape store. So I've got her, and I've got two turntables. I've got her. So I've got several different angels that are different styles. Doesn't have to be all the same style to put together a set. You see what I'm doing? You just come in here, and if you want, you put them together. And there you've got a set. And they were all sourced from different places. If, like this one, sometimes they wobble on the bottom, take a Dremel and just Dremel the bottom smooth. A friend of mine already Dremeled her off. She was wobbling because there was debris on my turntable. So you got to be careful of that when you're painting. Don't get debris on your turntable or clean your turntable off. One more tip. Let me clear my turntable so I can grab it. I also saw this at the yard sale. It's a music box. It works fine. The music is not mine. I don't own the rights to it. Just a disclaimer. Wrong direction. There's nothing wrong with this. Now, I'm going to paint the wise men, but I'm going to cover this with painter's tape. You get this, Walmart has it, Dollar General might even have it, hardware stores have it. They come in different widths. I just like the thicker stuff. Cover what you don't want in the painter's tape. When you get finished painting it and sealing it with a clear coat, then you remove the painter's tape. Use painter's tape because masking tape, black tape, electrical tape, all of that, they will stick way too much. If you don't have enough painter's tape, grab wax paper, parchment paper, or cling wrap and tape it to the whatever you don't want, and then just remove it later. So that's, this just needs a bottom, which is no big deal. It's pretty the way it is. I like to zhuzh things up. I'll paint anything that sits still, and some things that probably don't. Another tip, if you're getting in the eyes or a very small space, for example, that's a bad example, but Mary, here's the Mary you guys have seen in another video. I'm not done with her yet, but that's but say her eyes are open. Say you want to do the pupils, but it's a very small statue. Get yourself a toothpick and dab a little paint in the small areas. It works great. So that, that'll help you get into small areas. Don't be afraid to use highlighting things like glitter paints. This is a gold base with a gold glitter over it. It's not, the glitter paints, the metallics, they're not as evasive as they seem. It's all on how you use them. Now, she's not done. She's got some mistakes. I call that cleanup painting. And I want to do some detail work on her face. If you don't have a color that you really want, and your wife has nail polish, or you have nail polish, or whatever, go grab some nail polish and use the nail polish. Get done with nail polish, clean out the bottle, and wash out that little brush. It'll hold your paint, and that little brush is a great detail brush. You want to store paints, and you bake, or you eat a lot of peanuts, per se, keep the containers, clean them out. You can remove the label if you want. This is an old yeast container. Put a dab of paint on the lid so you can see when you look down what color it is. See? When you have a bunch of bottles all together, like I always do, you want to be able to see from a glance above, what color that is. So that's why you put a drop of paint on your lid. So that's how to begin ceramics. You don't need a turntable. If you want to make one, get 2 cake pans. Put marbles in the bottom of the one. Pie pan works too. Just the cheapos from Dollar Tree or whatever. Put marbles in the bottom and put the other one on top of it. And you've got yourself a turntable or a Lazy Susan. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you later. Maybe I'll show you a ceramic while I paint it or something. If you'd be interested in that, let me know in the comments. Have a good day.